Right, I think we're live. Hello, folks. How are we doing? Welcome along. It's Ask Me Anything time. You know, vlog every day in August. I've got to continue vlogging every day, even when I have a day like today where I just don't have a vlog ready. There's many reasons why we haven't. We don't really need to get into them, but I promised I'd do more stuff like this anyway a month ago when I last did one of these, and we had a lot of fun, and I said I'll do these much more often. I'll get back onto doing the live Q&As, and more than a month has passed, so you know, it's all worked out quite nicely. We do need to do more of these because I enjoy doing the live Q&A stuff. I think you enjoy watching them as well. If you do enjoy them, make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on it so that I know you enjoy them, and it will encourage me to do a few more of them. Unlike all of the others we've done over the last couple of years, I'm actually going to be leaving this one live on the channel as well as a VOD. So I just want to see how it gets on. I usually take them unlisted once they're finished, but I often get people saying I want to watch it afterwards. So if you're watching this afterwards, let me know down in the comments that you're watching it afterwards, and I might leave them up a bit more often in the future. It's just old YouTube wisdom told us that you had to take them down or it ruined the algorithm and stuff. It's all very complicated, but less intro, more getting into some Q&A stuff. We're probably going to be live for maybe half an hour or so, and you can ask me questions on whatever you want to ask me questions about. I'll leave it completely up to you what ground we cover. I will be prioritizing answering questions that I've not answered before. So if you've got something new and original to ask, you're more likely to get it answered. I obviously can't go through and answer every single question because there's a lot of people here asking a lot of questions. I can see that the chat is busy. So as ever, if you have got a question for me, make sure you start it with @KevinChapman. That makes it flash up in red on my screen so that I'm more likely to see it. I'll then pick out the best ones that I see from them as I see them. Please don't spam the chat. Spamming the chat will just lead to you getting timed out because it just makes it difficult for me to see what anyone else is doing. And if you do want to absolutely guarantee that you can get a question answered, the way to do that is through Super Chat. I do always promise to answer and reply to every Super Chat that comes in, because if you're going to stick some money in the kitty, I'm going to make sure I say thank you and answer whatever question you might have to ask, which, as that happens, Joel Morris comes in with the Super Chat. So we'll start with him. Thank you for the Super Chat. First of all, Joel, do you think the Hardy Boys, Rey Mysterio and Christian should be in the WWE Hall of Fame? Yeah, probably. Christian, yeah, the Hardy Boys and Rey Mysterio, definitely. Christian, right, let's jump into the rest of the questions. Who will win the Premier League? Probably Manchester City. Are we doing football and wrestling Q&A? That'd be interesting. Am I planning on making any non-save merch for the Lollujo channel? Probably not. I can't imagine people would want to buy Lollujo merch. If you've got ideas, let me know. The idea of just doing a t-shirt with Lollujo on the front of it just seems a bit naff. What's my favorite takeaway? I like pizza, but Anna can't eat pizza because she's gluten and lactose intolerant. I think that's why I like pizza, because when I do have it, it's such a rare treat. Do I own a Porsche Panam? I don't even know what a Porsche. I'm not a car guy. Don't know what that is. Obviously, no, I don't own one. Edgy212, thank you for the Super Chat. Thoughts on the CM Punk return? Did I mark out? I did. I stayed up until 4 a.m. watching it. And that's one of the reasons why there wasn't a normal vlog ready to come out today, because I ended up getting up at 11 after staying up until 4. I was very excited. You might be able to see behind me, I've got my AEW figures where the pop vinyls used to be. I'm redesigning the whole area. It's partway done. But my CM Punk figure, my WWE Elite, is in there with my AEW figures, and I'm very excited. Through Susan's Eyes, thank you very much for becoming a channel member. And Ian Winstanley, thank you for the Super Chat. Am I watching SummerSlam? I'm not going to watch it live because I stayed up until 4 a.m. to watch wrestling last night, and I don't want to do it 2 or 3 nights in a row. We've got NXT TakeOver tomorrow as well, but I'll probably watch it during the day tomorrow. I say watch it. I haven't watched a full WWE pay-per-view in a long time. I'll have it on and fast forward to anything that takes my interest. But usually I can condense a WWE pay-per-view down into about 45 minutes because there's not usually a lot on there that I'm particularly interested in watching. Sign with Kiva, thank you for the Super Chat. is Andy looking forward to going back to school? He has mentioned it a couple of times, so yeah, I think he probably is looking forward to going back. He's gone through all of his summer stuff that he wanted to do now, so things like Nottingham, Wicksteed Park, and Drayton Manor. When we've been going to these things the most recent times, we've been saying to him, this is the last time we're going now in 2021, so you can come again in 2022. So he's got a couple of other bits that we're going to be doing. We're going to be going to the that big soft play place again. We've got a trip to Alton Towers coming up. There'll probably be other bits and pieces that we do before the holidays end, but we've only really got, I think it's less than 2 weeks now until the kids are back at school. So there's not a huge number more of days out that we're going to be going on. And I think once he's got to the end of all of the stuff that he wanted to do, his goal then is get back into school, get through to the next holiday so he can go and do cool stuff again. Joel Morris, thank you for the super chat. Is Andy recording through Andy's Eyes videos yet? No, I don't expect he ever will again, because he's realized it's much more efficient to record stuff on his phone and he can just watch it back when he wants then. Because remember, the Through Andy's Eyes channel was never for anybody other than Andy. He wasn't making videos for other people to watch. He was making videos for himself to watch back later, and it was just a way for him to watch the stuff that he was recording on his camera. When he broke all his cameras and ended up starting filming on his phone, I think he quickly realized that his phone has a large memory and he can just film loads of stuff on that and then watch it back on his phone immediately, and he'll sit there in the car on the way home from trips watching it on his phone. I don't think he has any reason to do Through Andy's Eyes anymore. I mean, there's always the opportunity that will change his mind. He might break his phone. He might just decide he wants to make YouTube videos. But at the moment, if you're waiting for any content on Through Andy's Eyes, I wouldn't hold your breath. Edgy212, thank you for becoming a channel member as well. Much appreciated. Have I seen the new Suicide Squad film? I haven't. I would like to, but now we don't have respite. Going to the cinema is a challenge. We obviously went to see Free Guy last Friday, but that was the first night we'd had away from Andy since we've lived over here, and it's been getting on for a year now that we've lived here without any respite. So going to the cinema in the evening isn't really going to be an option. So then we have to try and fit it into the daytime when he's at school. And obviously at the moment he's not been at school for the last month or so. So yeah, we've not seen anything that's out in the cinema. We've not even seen Black Widow yet, even though we could just get it on Disney Plus. I kind of want to see it in the cinema like I've seen all the other Marvel movies, but I think we're probably running out of time to catch that in the cinema, and we'll probably end up watching that on Disney Plus after all. Josh Tilly, not sure which it is. Thank you for the super chat. So now you're not allowed coffee. That's not the case. Oh, not allowed as much coffee. Okay. Do we have until you finish a cup of water to ask a question? I hope you're keeping well. Love the videos. No, I've got a can of Coke Zero here. This is my first can of Coke Zero of the day. So yummy Coke Zero. I've only had one coffee so far today as well. So like I say, got up at lunchtime, but I'll be having coffees and Coke Zeros and Diet Cokes and things as usual. It's not that I'm not allowed stuff. I just have to start cutting down, and that's fine. I don't mind cutting down. A lot of the time I didn't have loads anyway. Right, what else have we got? How's Andy coping with the new Walker's crisp packets? He's not bothered him this time. It was a big issue for him. Last time they changed, but yeah, it's not been an issue for him at all this time. Do I sometimes think I'm not going online today? No, never. Even when I'm not really doing anything work related, I'll always be online. I live on the internet. I've always said that I would like to have my consciousness transferred into the internet before I die, so I can just live forever as a machine in the internet, and that would be me happy. I'd love that. The internet's great. The internet is the best thing. I love Coke Zero. What's my favorite fizzy drink? Dr. Pepper Zero. But ultimately, I'm going to have to stop having any of the fizzy drinks that have got caffeine in within the next few weeks. I've got to start within 3 or 4 weeks. I'll have eliminated caffeinated fizzy drinks altogether. So that'll mean no more Coke, no more Pepsi, no more Dr. Pepper. So I'll have to find a new favorite. Stuff like Sprite Zero, Fanta Zero, that kind of stuff doesn't have caffeine in. So I guess I'll move on to that kind of thing for my fizzy drink. Right. What's Andy's diet like currently? We talked about that in a video very recently. I'll refer you to that for more information. Edgy212 in again with a super chat. Predictions on Reigns versus Cena after Reigns says he'll leave WWE. Well, he was already winning, and now he's definitely winning. It was such a weird stipulation for them to add, because we already knew he was going to win, because Cena's leaving again after SummerSlam. So why would they put the title on him? So Cena was never winning anyway, but now they've just absolutely guaranteed that Reigns is winning. So no point watching that match now, is there? We know how it's going to go. WWE are an odd company. Would a tractor ride interest Andy at all? I don't think so. We've tried stuff like that before, and he's never been interested in it. Have I ever dyed my hair? Once. I dyed my hair when I was about 18. Tried to bleach it blonde. It went ginger. I've never tried again. Have I seen Windows 11? And if so, do you think you'll upgrade to it when it comes out, as I've been using the preview? I've seen it, as in I know it's coming. I've not really looked into it. I'll upgrade when it's fully out. I won't use previews or betas or anything like that. But when it's fully out, I'll upgrade. I always do. Yeah. Yes. What's my favourite Gusto meal? Oh, I don't know. They're all good. What we're having a Gusto. We're having fish and chips Gusto style tonight. And that's always quite nice. I like the fajitas. I don't think I've ever had a really bad Gusto meal. There's been a few. There was one around Christmas time that had truffle oil chips. That was, I decided I don't like truffle oil. But by and large, any meal we get from Gusto is pretty tasty. Have I tried caffeine-free Coke? I have, and I don't like it. Do I think Vince is behind AEW? No, because he's not. A much richer man is behind AEW. When are we going back to Disney? When we're allowed to leave the UK? What's my favourite animal? The giraffe. Oh, hold on. There's a few repeats of questions in here at the moment. Do I support LGBT people? Yes. Amy, thank you for the super chat. Actually, questions like that are always a little bit weird. I mean, I'm not going to go on a rant about it, but I feel like you're only asking that to try and catch me out. If you've got a more specific question, go for it. But I think we should move on to a position where we assume the default is people aren't morons. So obviously, if you're not a moron, then you support people living whatever life they want to live. Who am I to say who someone else should love? Because I'm not a moron. You should know I'm not a moron. I don't think questions like that need to be asked unless you think I might be a moron. There's a small chance Cena wins as Reigns may have a break because of COVID Delta variant. But Cena's not going to win because Cena's leaving. Cena's contract runs until today. So if Reigns was wrestling somebody who will be there next week, then yeah, maybe. Reigns might be going on a break again. Yeah, maybe. But Cena's not going to win. And the only way Cena wins is to break the Ric Flair record, because Ric Flair's just left. In fact, hold on, this is all working now, isn't it? This is becoming wrestling theories. If Reigns is going on a break because of the Delta variant, which makes sense because of his susceptibility to it, you have Cena win and break Ric Flair's record because Ric Flair's upset them, and then you immediately have a Money in the Bank cash in. I didn't watch SmackDown last night. Is Baron Corbin still holding the case? Or is Big E got it back? Either way, you immediately cash in on Cena. And that way you have a new champion, and both Cena and Reigns are gone after SummerSlam then, which, what a poor state of affairs that would be for WWE. My word. AEW just brings CM Punk back. They've got Bryan Danielson debuting in a couple of weeks, and they lose Cena and Reigns on the same night. Do I still play Pokemon Go? Not really. Do I prefer Tottenham or Arsenal? I mean, can you see the couple of Arsenal shirts that are behind me on the wall? I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Andy hasn't had the vaccine, no, because no one's willing to give it to him because it's dangerous. Not the vaccine. Let me rephrase that. I'm just established I'm not mental. The vaccine itself is not dangerous. Giving it to Andy as one person going at Andy with a needle would be dangerous for both Andy and that person. He needs like half a dozen people to hold him down and it be forced into him against his will. And strangely, no one's willing to do that. So until we're in a situation where we can give it to him by force and overpower him and get it into him, there's never going to be a way we can persuade him to, do you want to have this thing that really hurts? He's just not going to be able to do that. Amy Randall, thank you for the super chat. Have you ever thought of Cornwall as a holiday destination for you and the family? Such a lovely place. Feel like everyone would enjoy it. I've been to Cornwall a few times when I was younger. I think my reservation about going there at the moment is just how far it is. Like, I mean, we're a little bit closer to it now, but to get deep into Cornwall, you're looking at like a 6 or 7 hour drive. Longer than that once you've accounted for stops for toilet breaks and hamburgers and whatever. It's like a full day of driving each way. And if I'm going to do a full day of driving, I can go to France, I can go to Belgium. You know, there's places that I'd rather go to that I can get to with a similar amount of travel. I mean, even flying to the US is a similar amount of time to what a drive down to Cornwall would be. And yeah, Cornwall's lovely when I've been there, but there's other places I think I'd rather go for that amount of travel. Right. So I'm not going to be doing any what do you prefer out of X or Y questions because they're pretty boring. So yeah. What's my ideal goal weight? I don't really have one. Just a healthy weight. Not like a BMI healthy weight. Just a weight where I don't have any kind of issues caused by my weight would be nice. Do I drink alcohol? No. Do I think... And I've already answered the tractor question. I was wondering if you consider changing your intro to make it more inclusive of... I don't know what that means. I don't know what MB people is. And I don't have an intro. Don't really understand. I'm going to need clarification on that. I deliberately don't have an intro at the moment because I didn't want an intro anymore. I wanted to just get straight into the video. Looking at the analytics, we talked about this before a few years ago and I was persuaded to go back the other way again, but every time I look at the analytics on it, a major switching off point for people on these videos is playing an intro. So I just don't do them anymore and just get straight into the video, and we get a better watch time retention by just getting straight into it. Road and Rail Studios, thank you for the super chat. How did Andy get the name Sproglet? He didn't specifically. It was just kids are Sproglets. I don't know if that's a Peterborough thing or what, but kids are Sproglets. So he wasn't Sproglet. The kids were the Sproglets. If I referred to one of them individually, I would refer to them as a Sproglet or the Sproglet. But yeah, it's just another word for kid or child. Colleen McGrory, thank you very much for the channel membership. We've had a few channel members in today. Lovely, lovely stuff. Sorry, NB is non-binary, someone that is not male. Thank you for the clarification. And how is the... I don't understand. What do you... I still don't get the intro thing. Benji Jenkins, thank you for the super chat. When Andy moves out, will you and Anna get a motorhome? Doubt it. Don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Haven't really thought about it. Are the analytics better now that the vlogs are back than when Anna couldn't be on the videos? Yes. Because we're actually able to make good videos again most of the time. Some of them are still a little bit... There's certainly been a few days during Vlog Every Day in August where if I hadn't committed to release a video every day, I'd have looked at the footage we recorded and thought, yeah, you know what? We probably won't release this today. I think if this had been a normal month, what is it now? The 21st. So this is vlog 21. The vlog 21, the live vlog. So if this is the 21st vlog of the month, I would say in an ideal world, we probably released 16 or 17 of those 21 videos. You could probably go through and pick out the 3 or 4 that maybe weren't. Maybe that one didn't need to come out, or maybe 2 of them could have been condensed into 1 or something like that. But yeah, on the whole, things are definitely looking up because we're able to make, on average, better videos. Who are Peterborough's rivals? Traditionally, Northampton and Cambridge, but they're both so rubbish. It feels like picking on a puppy. It's just like, oh, are so little and adorable and absolutely no threat to me, I can't really be mean to them. So we don't really have any. The 3 count, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Posh have a chance of survival? Yes, I don't think it's just a chance. I think we'll finish mid-table. Also, what's your thought to that amazing reaction for CM Punk last night? It was goosebump inducing. It was really cool. I heard on someone else's video, Goose Fair is cancelled, but also that it started with geese in Nottingham Town Centre. I mean, both of those are true. Yeah, Goose Fair is cancelled. I think it's probably for the best. They were talking about putting up a big fence, charging for entry and insisting on vaccine passports. And although that would have been a way to get people into Goose Fair, 500,000 people go to Goose Fair over the course of the 10 days or so that it's open. It's not really safe to run at the moment. And also, Andy doesn't have a vaccine passport. So trying to convince him, he'd know it was going on and wouldn't be able to go. So at least this way we can show him, look, it's cancelled, it's not happening again. And he accepted it last year. I'm sure he'll accept it again this year. Your friend Davey, thanks for the super chat. Not a question, just to say love your video, Seth. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say. What's the target demographic on this channel? Very good question, Grace. Target demographic. I tend to make all my videos aimed at me. So I'm aiming at nerdy men who are like in their 30s, probably. That's probably my target demographic. That's not at all the audience that we've got on this channel, which is why you do sometimes get that disconnect between the content I want to make and the content that people enjoy the most. I think just because of the nature of the way YouTube works, some of the stuff that's been our most popular content over the years has been right on the fringes of the kind of content that I want to make. So of the 100,000 or so people who subscribe to the channel, there's probably about 20,000 of them who are in my core demographic that I'm aiming at and that I originally started making videos for. But then there's another 80,000 people who I kind of feel like I do still need to make stuff for them as well. So it's why the content can be a little bit confused on the channel at times. I know we have a lot more female viewers on this channel than I do on my gaming stuff. Probably because I'm just so adorable. I assume that's what it is. And we have a lot of younger viewers as well who I think relate with Andy. But yeah, that's not what I was originally aiming for. And I think, I don't know, I've gone past the point where I'm trying to force the content, like force the audience into where I want it to be. And I'm just like, if people enjoy the videos, it doesn't really matter who they are, what age they are, anything about it. It doesn't matter. But I'm trying to find the right word. I'm not gonna pander to it. That's a little harsher than I want to be. I'm not gonna just suddenly wake up in the morning and start making videos aimed at teenagers, for example, because we've got a lot of teenagers who watch, because I think that would be a little bit, it would just be insincere, I think. Cara Mason, thanks for the super chat. Do you think Anna would be better using a mobility scooter with her problems? I don't think she needs one. I mean, she's fine most of the time. If we have to, you know, if it's hurting and we have to go out, then maybe, but it's easier to just not go out sometimes. I don't know. I don't think she necessarily needs one. I mean, we've done stuff like when we've been at events in the past, there's been a couple of times where we've got a wheelchair for her. When like if pain is really bad, if she's really suffering, and it might be something we look at further down the line. But I think certainly with Andy as well, it would probably cause more problems than it solved, because he'd want one, or he'd want to ride on it, or he'd get frustrated waiting for us to set it up, or, you know, it's, I think it would just be an extra level of kerfuffle that it's sometimes just easier to, we just won't go out that day and let her rest. But definitely subject to change. Joel Morris, thank you for the super chat. Does Andy still like Diesel Juicy? I've not heard him mention him for a long time. I assume he probably does. We don't really hear as much what he's watching on the internet anymore, because he does a lot of it in his bedroom. Obviously, we're not giving him complete free reign. We've got the bad stuff blocked. I know how the internet works. I have my computer science degree and all that kind of stuff. but like I don't know whether he's watching Diesel Juicy or Roblox videos, for example, unless I happen to be up there and hear one of them, or he brings it into the kitchen. So I don't know. I've not heard him mention it for a long time. Benji Jenkins, thank you for becoming a channel member. Does Andy have a learning disability as well as autism? Yes. How's it going with my ASD diagnosis? It hasn't started yet, effectively. We got a certain amount of distance down the road where we lived before, and then we moved, and at some point I might start the process again. I might not. I think my views on it kind of change over time. Sometimes, like when I originally went for the diagnosis, I was quite keen to find out. Now I'm more of the mind of I've effectively self-diagnosed, and I don't know what difference it would have. Well, I don't know what difference it would make to my life now. Have it on a piece of paper rather than just saying to people that I'm autistic, which I don't say it quite that bluntly because I feel a little bit weird about it because I don't have the piece of paper. So I guess that's what the piece of paper gives me, the confidence to just say it and not worry about people challenging me on it. But like Anna makes accommodations for me, and everyone I know does. You know, when we were at the wedding last weekend, people knew I would be sat outside for a lot of it because I didn't want to be in there in the noise and just surrounded by people. I didn't really want the social interaction and stuff, and everyone I know kind of works around me. So I don't know what difference the piece of paper would make, really. But my view could change tomorrow, and I could wake up tomorrow and really, really want the piece of paper. So who knows? Right, we're going to do a couple more questions because I need to go and start making dinner. Road and Rail Studios, thank you for the super chat. What TV does Andy watch apart from Night Garden? He doesn't really. The only time he watches TV, he watches the 1 hour of CBeebies bedtime hour every single day. When he had his carers coming around, which we haven't had for a long time now, he would sit and watch Challenge TV with them. He likes that. He never watches TV in his room. He just uses his TV for playing games on. He was watching the Disney movies for a little while, like Toy Story, stuff like that, but he hasn't done that for a long time. He lost interest in that. He likes The Snowman, but only at Christmas. He likes watching Friends with Short Stay, but only with Short Stay. But yeah, not a lot, really. Jordan Long, thank you for the super chat. Right, there's not a lot of @Kevin Chapman's here, so I'm struggling to pick out which ones are questions and which ones are people just talking amongst themselves. Jody Doc, thank you very much for the super chat. Biggest achievement other than the kids and Anna? Being my own boss. Being able to... I always dreamt of running my own business, not having to answer to anybody. The fact that I'm sat here, nearly 40, with close to 250,000 followers across my YouTube channels, and able to wake up in the morning and decide what I want to do with my day and somehow make it into work. I think that's really cool. Like, I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I could stay up until 4 a.m. to watch wrestling and then get up at 11 today and still make a video and do this. This is work. And I'll do some work this evening to make up for the fact that I didn't do any this morning. And just being able to set my own schedule, do my own thing and not have to answer to anybody is... I think that's that's what I wanted. It's what I always wanted. Do I play FIFA? Yes. What's for tea? Gusto fish and Gusto fish and chips. Sid3300, thanks for the super chat. You thought about taking Andy to one of the In the Night Garden live shows? We have thought about it. We were on the verge of doing it before the pandemic happened, and then obviously it kind of got moved off the agenda a little bit, and until you've just posted it there, it hadn't crossed my mind again since. But I don't know, are they touring at the moment? Are they doing stuff like that at the moment? We are going to get him across to Alton Towers before the end of summer so he can go to CBeebies Land. But yeah, we might do something like that for sure. Have I ever considered adopting Andy? Yes, but we don't do it without going too deep into the ins and outs of Anna's past. In order for me to adopt him, we would need to get in contact with his dad, which would involve his dad finding out where Anna is, and we don't want that. So there's more potential damage than benefit from us going down that route, so we don't. Natalie Bell, thank you for the super chat. No question, love your videos. Thank you very much, that's very kind of you. What football team do I hate the most? I don't really hate any football teams, I don't think. I don't know. There's very little in the universe that I would hate. I think hate is a really strong word. There are teams that I don't particularly want to see win, like Chelsea, Man City, Tottenham, Cambridge, Northampton, but I don't know. I don't think I hate any of them. Has Andy ever had his eyes tested? Yes. Who was my idol when I was younger? No. I don't know. I've never really had one. How do you make the point to other people that disability isn't an inspiration? How do I make the point to other people that disability isn't? I'm not sure what that means. I'm gonna. Sometimes I think some of these questions, I don't know if it's the way they're worded or maybe my own ignorance, but sometimes I just don't get them. And that's an example. I don't understand the question. Sorry. Any advice on being a teen/young parent? Yeah, learn quickly to not care what other people think, because people will judge you for it forever. Even now, people, not me so much because I look like an old man, but when Anna mentions that she's got a 17-year-old son, people are like, look at her as if she must have had him when she was 9. And yeah, you'll always get looked down on by people who are just a bit too up themselves for their own good, and you just got to learn to ignore it and just crack on. I personally think I wouldn't want to do it any other way. If I had the chance to go back and reset and redo it all, I wouldn't do it any differently, because I love the fact that I'm approaching 40 and almost at the point where I'm not going to have day-to-day parental responsibilities anymore. I think that's really cool, because if I'd have been young, free and single when I was in my early 20s, I was also skint back then. I wouldn't have been in a position to go and do the stuff that I wanted to do. Whereas I'm potentially going to be like in my early 40s, still mobile, still hopefully with good health, no day-to-day parental responsibility, and the money to go and do what I want to do and actually go and live a little, which I think that's a really cool way around to do it, rather than having my freedom when I'm young and skint and trying to build a life, and then having kids until I'm 60, and then as soon as they're all moved out, it's like, oh well, I'm too old and sick now to enjoy, to get mine. So I don't know, I think it's quite cool being a young parent. Not that I would encourage my kids to go and have kids immediately, but at the same time, I would say to them, don't wait until you're like 45 to do it, because each to their own. I won't encourage them one way or the other. They can do what they like. I wouldn't have wanted to do it that way around. I couldn't imagine having kids, having a baby now. No, I don't have the energy that I did when they were young. Jingle Jangle, thanks for the super chat. Have I seen What If? Yes. I think they've both been really good. The most recent one was really, really good. Yeah, really enjoying What If on Disney+. Road and Rail Studios, thank you for the super chat. Has Andy ever ridden the Sheffield super trams? No, we've never been to Sheffield, I don't think. Well, he's never been to Sheffield. I've been to Sheffield a couple of times. He's never been to Sheffield, no. Would I like Liverpool to win the league? Not really, Aaron. No, thanks. At the start of all your videos, you start with welcome back, boys and girls, and it just makes me uncomfy. I feel like your stuff. I really like your stuff. Sorry to bother you. I'll level with you, Ashley. I've never really thought about it. It's just a turn of phrase, isn't it? I guess my challenge to that would be, what could I say instead that is the sort of thing that I would say? And maybe that's the problem. Maybe the sort of thing that I would say is a problem. Maybe it is something I need to think about. But ultimately, I call people boys, and I say boys and girls as a little, it's like a nod to the fact I used to be a teacher, and it's how I'd address a bunch of kids, and now I'm addressing a bunch of adults as boys and girls. And to me, that amuses me. It's certainly not intended as you're only allowed to watch if you're male or female. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's not my place to be the one who decides whether or not something makes somebody else feel uncomfortable or not. But I think sometimes it's both important for me to decide if I'm being ignorant and maybe need to change what I'm doing. But at the same time, it's important as the receiver of a message to decide if it was meant maliciously or whether it was aimed at you or whether it was just like completely innocent and probably okay. And I think there's probably a little bit on both sides that we can work with and decide a way forward. What I don't want to do is get into a situation where I'm second guessing everything that I say because I don't want to upset anybody, because I think the problem with that is that in itself will upset people as well. And I don't think there's any way to make authentic vlogs without upsetting or offending people based on what I say or what I do sometimes, because ultimately everybody has their little quirks and foibles and ways of doing things and turns of phrase that are not 9 times out of 10 not meant maliciously or offensively at all, but just based on their window into the universe, it's never been pointed out to them that it might offend somebody. But because it might offend somebody, does that mean you shouldn't do it if you would do it previously? And it then puts you into this whole cycle of political correctness versus authenticity, and it's a whole minefield. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I'm happy to take direction from people who have far more knowledge about it than I do. Jody Doc, thank you for the super chat. What's my favorite thing about Andy? The fact that he has similar interests to me. The fact that we can go to a theme park and nerd out a little bit and go and film nerdy stuff, and like when Anna's there going, I think it was when we went to Nottingham last week, there was a little clip where she's just like, what is my life? It's me and Andy both just filming trams, and I thought that was quite cool. It was awesome. Change if you want, don't get yourself into a bad way needing to watch, but I'm not sure what that means. My 14-year-old son Benedict was recently diagnosed with autism. Your videos have helped. Oh, excellent. Happy to help. Why, we've talked about Sproglet before, and I mean earlier in this video I explained it was never a nickname for Andy. Right, we are going to do just 3 more questions now because I've gone way longer than I planned to. Do I have a favourite vlog? Not really. I kind of forget them. Once they're made. It's always because I create a lot of videos. I've made thousands of videos in the last 5 years. I don't really remember any of them because there's not room in my brain to remember them. I very much get them done and then move on to the next one and don't really spend a lot of time looking back on them. And a big advantage of that is that I can go back to the channel and rewatch old videos and genuinely enjoy them as a viewer because I don't know what's going to happen. And like we'll rewatch trips to theme parks and days out and things and Christmases, and it's cool because I don't remember what was in them. Right, 2 more questions. What do I think of Barca's situation? Completely self-inflicted, serves them right, the numbskulls. I hope it affects a few more clubs who've lived beyond their means. Have you ever considered a blue badge for Andy? We've considered it, but never got around to doing it because it's not a major day-to-day challenge. I'll level with you. I've not really looked into it at all. I don't really know what a blue badge does other than allows you to park a little bit closer to the supermarket. And I don't think we need to be able to park a little closer to the supermarket. We don't need a bigger parking space. We don't need priority parking. And if that's all it gets us, I don't think we need that, even though he might be entitled to it. It's similar to the discussion around wearing a mask. Although he doesn't have to wear a mask, he can wear a mask. It's not a problem, so why wouldn't he? Likewise, for Andy, parking at the back of the car park really isn't a big deal. He's completely mobile. He doesn't mind the walk. We've never had an issue where a parking space has caused a problem. So on that basis, why would we need one and potentially then put ourselves in a situation where we're taking a parking space that someone who really needs it would be able to have otherwise? It might be that there's more attached to it that I don't know, and it might make it easier for us to get like access passes at theme parks and stuff like that. And if that's the case, maybe we'll look into it and just not use it for parking. But if it's just a you can park closer to the supermarket card, we don't need that, because for a start, he rarely comes to the supermarket. David Carter, thank you for the super chat. There isn't any more news on the flight stick. I'm still waiting to find one in stock somewhere. When I do, I will deal with it and get one sorted. If Andy gets the higher tier on Pip, I think he's entitled to one automatically. I think he is entitled to one. We just haven't applied for one because I don't think we need one. Right, I've just had a text from Anna saying, "Where's my dinner?" So I think we probably need to wrap things up there. Thank you very much to everyone who's got involved this evening, asking questions, just watching along, enjoying the video, super chats, channel members, all that kind of stuff. It is much appreciated. I do intend to start doing this a little bit more often. So remind me if it goes another few weeks and we haven't done another one, that I should do more of these. But for now, I will bid you adieu. And she's literally going to come in now and tell me. No, I'm literally ending it now and then I'll be with you. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Bye-bye.